First, I'm just so grateful. I feel so happy to be here, and I'm loving everything. And my life has gotten so much better, and I've really done a really excellent job of ignoring a diagnosis and a condition. And the symptoms have gone away for the most part, except for one area. And I take a medicine, and I would like to not take that medicine anymore. And I would like the symptom that is in the way of not, that I take the medicine for to be gone. And it's gone during the day. I'm like fantastic during the day. So it's just at night. And I'm wanting to know how to, I visualize it. I am excited about it. I feel my health. I feel the well-being. I feel excited about it.
Well, it's interesting.
But then when I take the medicine, I remember it.
Well, apart from all of that, we're just going to ask our friends here, what's the dominant vibration that she's got going on? Is it about the diagnosis, or is it about the well-being? What did you hear? Heard some of all of it, but what did you hear? What is the obvious active vibration here? So you can use the word ignore it, but you're not when you're talking about it. And we understand this is an opportunity for a question about it. But conversation and thinking about it is what holds it to you. And so it's a big question. How can I not be aware of something that I've got? And we say, well, you can't not be aware of it some of the time, but you have control over how much awareness you have of it. Yes. And we think that the reason that you are zeroing in on the medicine is because the medicine is the most chronic reminder to you. In other words, it's what emphasizes something that you're trying to ignore, because it's hard to ignore it when you're taking the medicine that emphasizes it. So we're going to put some questions out to all of you, and especially to you, and we just want you to consider these for just a little bit. A series of questions. We're going to give them to you straight and fast. So here are the questions, and then we'll go back and we'll work our way through the answers. Is it possible for any of you to think beyond what is?
Yes.
Is it normal? We're asking you about yourself. Is it normal for you to think about things other than what is? Or
Yes.
is it more normal for you to think about what is?
Other.
Do you think that you give more conversation to others and more internal dialogue in your head? Do you think more about what is or more about what could be?
What could be?
Do you think that thinking about what is prevents what could be from coming?
Yes.
And do you think that's what makes our friend irritated with the lull in law of attraction?
Yes.
In other words, law of attraction is so very slow, it seems. So is it prudent to sometimes think about what is? Plenty of what is that you like. If you're thinking about what is, the best thing that can happen is you amplify more of that good stuff you want. And the other good thing that happens is that you launch rockets of desire about improved conditions, improved situations. So the question that we're really putting out to you here is it possible to separate thought from reality?
Yes.
And if you separate thought from current manifested reality, what happens with the reality that becomes?
It changes.
It matches the thought rather than the reality. So you understand it all conceptually, you understand it all intellectually, and yet you bring to us a conversation about a diagnosis. We're constructing the diagnosis. Everyone in the room is thinking about it. We're shining a spotlight on it. In other words, when you want to ignore it, ignoring it means not thinking about it. Ignoring it means not giving your attention to it. Ignoring it means not talking about it. Is it possible to ignore something that is?
Yes.
And what's the easiest way of ignoring something that is?
Think about something else.
Think about something else. So when you think about if you're ignoring something that is, like a diagnosis or a condition, is it logical that the something else that you would think about would be on the same subject, just in a whole freakishly different vibrational place? Is that logical? In other words, that's what most people think we mean, is that instead of thinking about this thing that is, use willpower that defies human ability and conjure a completely different vibrational frequency and do it right now while your body's failing you in some way. In other words, that's why people have so much difficulty doing that. But what you heard today is different than that. What you heard today is distract yourself with something less specific. Distract yourself with something less specific. Distract yourself with something so general that it's not even on the topic. Get into that general place where the vortex, which is full of all kinds of specific things that you want, will say, what about this? 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 You see. If this is as insignificant as you claim it to be, and it is, it's not worth the conversation we all just had about it.
Okay.
And that's our primary message to you. In other words, you all are working too hard at trying to wrestle your problems to the ground and kill them. Using words like ignore while you're wrestling to the ground and trying to kill them. In other words, just let it go. Let it go. There should be a rap in there somewhere.
Okay.
Lighten up. Give yourself a break. Be easy about it. Stop making big hairy deals out of things. When you think a thought and it makes you feel uncomfortable, that's a clue. The discomfort is the clue. The discomfort that you're feeling is the clue that you're constructing something that is not beneficial to you. So that's when you want to say, I don't have to think about this right now. This isn't the big deal I've been making of it. I'm going to deactivate this eventually. All is really well in my world. Things are going really well for me. This isn't something that requires my attention right now. This is something that's on its way out, not on its way in. I can let this go eventually. I can't let it go this red hot minute, but eventually I am. I don't have to think about this. There are so many other things that I might think about, so many more things that are fun to think about. My life is a very varied life. There are so many things that I am doing that I like to do. In other words, just distract yourself from it and it will go away. It has to. Law of attraction says that nothing stays without your attention. Law of attraction says nothing comes without your attention. You see. Mm-hmm. Don't you love knowing that?
Yes.
Good time for a segment of refreshment.